All right, Dave Mage. I work with Core Networks, and I'm a technician with the network operations.
All right, well, let's just start with what is that unit there? And
Okay, what this equipment is where the phone conversations, or the phones that people use, dial long distance and so on and so forth, where it enters our network. All the wires and the jacks that you see here are T1 lines. They enter the system electrically at 1.544 megabytes, or what people commonly refer to as a T1 level. What we have is that we have individual systems, that start with T1s. We have 4 grouped in 7 for a total of 28 T1s. Those T1s are grouped together in the 28 and come out on DS3 level.
yeah, could you show me before remember how you made it? You explained it really well. You said it went 1 and then 4 and then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. So when it enters into the T1 level, we have a group of 28 T1s. Each one of them are grouped in DS2, which is a group of 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 7 DS2s. So we have 7 groups of 4, making a total of 28 T1s. Now the T1s are then passed electrically from a DS3 level over to our transport equipment, which converts them from electrical to optical. So this equipment is located over here. Some of it we have here what's called, we refer to as a transport bandwidth manager, which works at OC12 level. So we have 12 DS3s, or 12 groups of those 28 T1s entering this particular piece of equipment. It enters optically through these various cards, and once it enters electrically through these cards, it then goes through the backplane. It comes out in an optical signal, which is connected to the next level of our, which is what we refer to as an OC48. Now, an OC48 is an optical transport system, which takes the 12 optical OC12s. We have them divided into 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And each one of those quadrants contains an OC12 for a total of an OC48. Once the 48 optically 48 DS3s come out of this mux, are then brought over to our next piece of equipment, which is located over here. Actually, let's take you down to another one. It's easier. So we have our OC48 systems, which are brought into our OC192. The OC192 now takes the DS3s. We started off with 1, taking it into an OC48 level. We're now going to take the OC48 optical signal, bring it into our OC192 and combine it, and it's now going to go from 48 to 4 more OC48 systems, which go out at 192 DS3s. What we then can do is we then can take optically our OC192 and we bring it over to what's called a coupler. This PBA coupler in this case has...
Oh, I just need to pause for a moment. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just have to open up my lens. A little dark over here. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Okay. So the output of the OC192 comes over on an optical basis. It's given a different frequency. Each one of these connectors has different frequency on it, or different color as we refer to it. And the output of this is then taken over to what we would say the LH bay, or long haul bay.
There's a bit of wind on that. If you could step just to the right, maybe.
Okay.
That's great.
All right. Now what we have is the output of our PBA coupler. Back a little bit. All right. We have the output of our PBA coupler, which is at that point contained anywhere from 8, 16, or 32 different colors, or 8, 16, 32 different systems. All that information is brought over to our More amplifier, which is located down here. And we have two of them, both of them transmitting in two separate bands towards the different directions in which we take it. Some of these go as far away as Moncton and beyond, or St. John, New Brunswick and beyond. And the other side of this may go down towards Pictou County or down towards Cape Breton and eventually find their way to Newfoundland. The system that we have in Newfoundland is located just beyond Dutch Brook in Cape Breton, and it has an OC-192 system as well. And it brings all of that information, all the phones, all of the different voice, data, video, and brings it over to Newfoundland and brings it back again to us over the appropriate fibers. And that's about it.
That's great. Can we just maybe walk down there and maybe there's some other stuff?
Sure.
Really
well,
anything beyond this is great.
Well, if you want to show fibers, we'll go down this aisle here.
Now, well, also that this is for all communication, like not just landlines, or could you maybe mention how this is for anything?
Okay, here we have it. If you were to go down this line up here, you notice the number of fibers that we have. All of these optical systems, which are contained on two fibers, one transmit, one receive, they go to various equipments. They go to video, they might contain CBC video, they might contain CTV, global, connecting all of the studios and all the video associated with it, and all the feeds that they may have throughout the Maritimes. All are cross-connected through here. Banking, finance institutions, all of their optical connections. We have systems here that go through here for the municipalities, to the provincial governments, and so on and so forth. All that information, everything that you know as telecommunications in HRM or in Nova Scotia, will come through this bay here and somehow be cross-connected to the appropriate piece of equipment to wherever it may go throughout the province, out of province, and across Canada. So all of the network is located in all of these bays and through all of these optical fibers. Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I might just like to get could we just maybe just walk through the bays a little more? And you don't have to, if anything comes to mind you want to mention, go for it. At this point, I got what I need, I think.
Okay.
Maybe just explaining, like, is this any different, or what are those?
This is associated with the data route upstairs. I'm not really 100% familiar with that.
Oh, okay. Well, let's not worry
Okay,
about
well, let's
those.
go down here for a second. I'll show you this piece of equipment down here. Okay, just let me get my little handy tool out here. What I explained to you earlier was that we took an electrical DS0, or a customer's voice data, or so on, and we brought it from 28 T1s electrically to the optical MUX on our OC48. Well, this is a particular piece of equipment that'll do that and does it for us. So what we do is, each one of these sides of the equipment contains one DS3 or one MUX. There is the electrical output. This electrical output will go to the OC48 on the backplane. On the backplane is then taken, we map it into a particular piece of a card on the OC48, and then electrically it's converted on the backplane to the optic card, and the optic card changes it from electrical back to optical and takes it out over the network. But here are our 7 cards that we were referring to. This would be card group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And each one of these cards contains the 4 DS1s. For 7 groups of 4, or in 28 T1s, which are again brought out electrically over to the OC48 for us to convert it to an optical signal to be transported over our network. Cool.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
I do say cool a lot. And then any other little facts that you may have about just ballpark, how many bits of information would be traveling at one time, or specifically we're mainly interested in the phone, But just overall, if you have an idea of, is there's a per second or per year or what kind of, that sort of thing?
Well, the amount of bandwidth that's contained within what you've just seen here is generally is equated to about billions of bits being transmitted per second in and through and around the province through this network that we have here.
And how many bits do you think would be transmitted like in 1940s when I guess they first moved here?
No, I wouldn't. The easiest way to equate it is that you see oftentimes this picture of the old pioneer with his what we refer to as come-alongs. He's walking along, and you see the old pole with the cross arms and all different wires. Well, each one of those, each group of those wires, two of them contains one circuit or one DS0 that you saw there. To equate that to today's standards is just, it's billions of bits more are transported through that equipment, because at that point we only have one circuit. Here we have 28 circuits on one DS3. So 24 times 28, all the way up to an OC192, which equates to a fully loaded 1600 LG, equates to 2.5 million phone conversations in both directions in 1 second at each.
In 1 second?
In 1 second.
Wow. Okay, we're pretty much almost done here. The only other thing that would be cool is you had said something about, you showed with your hands that like for a fiber optic cable, one cable held this many
bits.
Lines.
Yeah, this many lines, yeah. Well, you want to get some fiber. Let's see.
And maybe contrasting that to the old-fashioned rotary telephone wire.
Okay, that's what I just did. Do we have a? Do you have a picture, Larry, of the Pioneer? You know those Pioneer.
You don't have to actually have.
I know what you're talking about.
Or even say like that wire versus a fiber optic wire. You don't have to actually have it in front of us.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to equate that other than to show you that the difference between a circuit. This particular phone here is one DS0 or one phone customer, and that over here in our DXP panel would equate to just one channel on one of the T1s. This particular T1 or this jack here would contain 1.544 megabytes of information. On that 1.544 megabytes, there are 24 separate channels or 24 different phone conversations or 24 different phones that people are using and calling and whomever, wherever. So you would take 28 of those on one T1, and as you can see down here, the number of jacks that we have down there, the potential are for thousands of and thousands of phone conversations.
That was solid gold. And the other thing, if you could just talk with your hand again about one, even just, you don't have to have a wire in front of you, but just how many conversations could be on there or bits of information.
Well, let me just get a piece of fiber for you.
Oh, okay.
That would be easy to do. I'll be back in 1 sec.
Thank you. That's right after.
Golly, man. Did it? Oh, she would have done a much better job. Oh man, I feel like he healed it anyway. And it's not bad, you know, you can do it, but you don't want to stick a camera in your face.
I know.
125 nanometers is the width and the diameter of one of the fibers that we carry our optical signals with. And if you look on the end of that,
I need a little more light.
A little more light?
Towards, yeah.
Sure. Okay, at the end of that is not the fiber itself. If you look in the very center, at about approximately 125 nanometers is the diameter, or the equivalent of a piece of your hair. On that system that I worked on between Los Angeles and Las Vegas, that particular fiber there would carry about 2.6 million phone conversations.
if I walk down that aisle and back, is that cool?
Yeah.
Just the lights are.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Wow.
lights. Let's give you one more walk shot and then
Sure.
I'll get out of your hair. Well, okay. Is it okay if I walk through there?
Yep. Absolutely.
Man, oh man. Yeah, that's like a wire sandwich. It's like, no. I'm sure that's a technical term, wire sandwich.